I did it for you.
You did. That's the first time
You're
ever.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, man.
Hello, listeners. Welcome back for another episode of Smoking Buzz and Tapping Ash Podcast with your beautiful host,
David.
And Travis tonight. Scott is recuperating.
He actually said he was washing his balls.
Yeah, he did say I'm washing my balls.
To get ready to come see us. And I don't really want to know what's in store for the night.
I'm very excited.
I figured. We'll see.
I washed my balls, too.
Yeah. Good. Good deal. I'm glad.
I did.
You guys are ready.
We're ready. So, let's just jump right into this smoke today, because it's hotter than hell out here.
It is. I don't even think we needed to light our cigars. We just hang them off in the sunlight.
If you just hold it out long enough, it'll start.
Tonight I grabbed one out of the humidor called 4 Kicks. I know nothing about it. It's a darker cigar.
It's very dark.
It
looks like about a Robusto.
It was very good on the cold draw, and it's super good smoking it. I wish I knew what this was, because I would buy some more of these.
You gotta save the band. That's what I do.
I actually started saving all my bands.
I only save the ones that I want to
like.
Yeah, and I throw them in my little humidor here and try to keep them.
I see 2 of them that blew off my table I need to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
What are you smoking?
I'm just smoking Old
Faithful.
Old Faithful, factory smoke, because it was a little warm and doing this. And like I've said before, sometimes I don't totally get to enjoy the cigar when we're recording, because I'm more focused on talking and getting the podcast done.
Yeah.
So, but
I get that.
And I still will argue with anybody that for the money, these are good cigars.
They are good cigars. I like them.
I mean, I smoke them all day, every day for like $2.25. It's a good cigar.
Hell yeah. Dude, look at the smoke this thing's putting off. It's amazing.
It's like it's a cigar or something.
Well, I mean, it's a ton of smoke. A lot of mine don't smoke that much.
Oh, look at that. Retro one over there.
Little retro.
How's the retro on it?
It's spicy. It's not like overwhelming. It's kind of like a horseradish type burn.
I love horseradish.
Oh, I do too. It's one of my favorite things.
Sometimes you can get a little too much. Now, do you like, they call it like raw horseradish, or do you like Miracle Whip horseradish? Like I
like it all.
I've learned, I don't know if I had ever went to a restaurant and I said, I'd ordered prime rib and I said, can I get some horseradish? And they brought me out raw horseradish.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
I was like, whoo, that was a little too much.
That's the only way to buy it, man. Then you can make your own sauce.
Yeah.
You can make your own cocktail sauce. It's super good.
I hate cocktail sauce, though.
Really? Oh, yeah, you don't like ketchup.
Yeah, I don't like
I don't like ketchup either, but something about the horseradish makes me like it.
Do you like tartar sauce?
I do not like tartar sauce. I will eat it sometimes, but it is not very good. It doesn't really match up well.
It depends on what...
I can't think of anything that I would like tartar sauce on, honestly.
It depends on what tartar sauce. Like, I've been to a few restaurants where they've made their own.
Yeah,
and
that's
good.
A different story.
But, I can't.
I don't like the store-bought crap. I think because it's more like Miracle Whip than mayonnaise. And I do not like Miracle Whip. It's an abomination. Who are you texting?
Well, my daughter was trying to call me, and I was trying to send one of those, I'm busy, what do you want text,
Yep.
And I couldn't figure out how to do it on my phone.
Nice. Have you been smoking any other cigars not at work that you can enjoy this past week?
Actually, what was it? I smoked the Filthy Hooligan.
Yeah.
Alec Bradley, I sent you a picture of it the other day.
You did. You said you liked it.
I really did. That's one of those that, that's probably the number one cigar that has surprised the hell out of me.
Wow.
That I was like, I would, if right now I want to find another one, because right now, if I saw them, I'd probably buy a box of them. But then knowing my luck, I would, you smoke that one, you're like, oh, I love this.
That was the unicorn.
Yeah, then you smoke the second one, like, these are awful.
Yeah.
These are awful. I did that with I bought the other box with you guys, those Papa Fritas,
Mm-hmm.
and I smoked 2 of them. Loved them. Oh, those are good. I bought the box and split up the other one. I'm
Kinda
like,
crappy.
I'm like, I don't remember it tasting like this. But that was by Alec Bradley. It was the Filthy Hooligan they come out with for St. Patty's Day.
Nice. I got one of those in my humidor waiting for next year St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, and I've got the other one. This is the barber pole one. Then there's one that's a try. It has 3 wraps.
Yeah.
And I still have that one. I'll
That's
probably
cool.
save it or whatever. But
Nice.
if I find those, I'll smoke them.
Well, good.
Well, good. Have you been smoking anything else?
Yeah, man. I've been smoking more the last 2 weeks than I have ever, I think. But it's been a couple days. Was it yesterday? Or the day before I smoked the Heaven and Hell from Oscar. And it was very good. It was one of my favorites in recent memory. I need to find some more of those because they're very good. I also want to try the Heaven. It's Connecticut, I guess.
Heaven and Hell?
Yeah.
That's what he got me. I had the Heaven.
You had the Heaven?
Because, I had the little angel wings.
Yep. I need to get some more of those.
Yeah, that was good. But
I
What-
saw you've been cooking.
I have finally have gotten a little settled in and got back to cooking. Yes, we're trying to get some things done and get everything settled, and it's weird how like a move will just really throw off your whole.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Oh my God! If I was thinking the other day, like, I hope you never call me to help you move. like you got so much stuff. And we had a lot of stuff too, but that's the thing is like I think you would just be on all upset sorts, like just moving.
Here's what would happen if I ever move. It would be like a high-end yard sale, and I would advertise all the way to Chicago. Be like, hey, this is the weekend we're open.
Yep.
Bring a pocket full of money. It's nothing but good stuff.
Yep.
And nothing's coming with me except my clothes.
And you understand what I did. Yeah.
But I would buy it all when I move into a house.
Yeah. Well, I did say that actually when we moved into our last house that we just sold. I said if I ever move again like that, I said they're buying the house furnished, and I said,
Oh, yeah.
I said I'll just sell it all and buy new, and that's pretty much what we've done. When we moved, I was like, I'm not moving this couch again.
Oh, no, I wouldn't move my furniture or appliances. I'd probably take our beds. So I do like my bed.
We did take our bed. That's probably the only thing we did take.
Yeah, I'm not taking my pool table. That's getting sold. Like 95% of my collectibles are getting sold. Like everything that wasn't a present is going bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye. On that note of moving, I listened this morning of you were on Pulpit.
I was. That's when I smoked the cigar.
Yeah. And it's kind of one of those things that there's certain podcasts when you're listening to them along and no, this is a nice part.
Okay.
And like when you're listening on the radio and they ask like this question, they're like this, and you have or you feel like you have the answer anyway, and you're like,
Yeah.
well, this is why I think. Nick had made a good point. He's looking for a house, and he said that his realtor was telling him, which I've talked to a lot of realtors the same way, said that there's more cash offers now than ever before. Just
Yeah.
people come and they're like, where are these people getting this cash? My theory is this, okay, if you're going to go buy a house, you're going to have 10 to 20% down. Okay, so you're saving that. You don't always have to. That's the smart thing to do. You can get home loans where there's zero. So we'll call responsible American. We'll save 10 to 20%. They're being saving that. But then they'll also be like somebody like you who we've been married for 15, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
We bought this house 20 years ago for $60,000. Okay, now in today's market, this house is worth $160,000. Okay, so they sell that, and that's what they're doing. Because everybody, at least I know that has done it at work and everything, that's what they've done. They knew they were moving.
I think what...
And they made so much more off their house, and they had that extra that money that they had saved.
What I don't understand is so that would be like, $180,000 or whatever in that scenario. Well, you're not going to just buy another house. It's the same as the one you got. You're going to upgrade, right?
Sometimes. I mean,
Like-
it just depends. Yeah, I guess.
80% of the time, unless you're like retiring and downsizing.
Yeah. Most of the time, yeah, you're going to upgrade.
Like, and they're mostly younger people buying homes right now. Like, where's the other $100,000 coming from? Because you're not going to touch anything upgraded from. Like, I have a small house.
Yeah.
I couldn't buy another house with another bedroom for less than $250,000.
Oh, sure you could.
Not that I've seen.
You can. You just got to look around. We'll say, I'm not going to say less than 200,000, but less than 250. Because you need, what? You're talking like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house.
Yeah, minimum.
Minimum, yeah. That's what I was thinking you'd need. You can do it. Now, it might not be in the neighborhood you want. It might not be the house you want. But you can do it. But that's just what I'm saying. Is I know right now people are taking, like, that's what we did. We damn near doubled our money on living in that house for 2 years. And it's like, But I could be wrong. A lot of them, maybe they're getting inheritance. Maybe they all have rich parents that we don't have.
That's probably a viable situation there because, the baby boomer era is starting to
A lot of them are.
retire and all that stuff. And not to mention the last 4 years of craziness taking out some people.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that
But
could be
anyway,
it.
that was my thought while you guys were, when I was in the tractor listening and talking to myself, people going by like, why is that guy yelling in his headphones?
Like, oh shit, he just ran into another power line.
I only did that once.
Oh, on that note, man, I've been meaning to ask you this question because I know you like some sci-fi stuff. What are some of your favorite sci-fi movies? Because that's what me and Nick went over on the pulpit.
And I listened to that today, and I'll be completely honest. If we were sitting here and if I hadn't listened to that episode, and you asked me what's my favorite sci-fi, I would probably tell you I'm not a big sci-fi person, which you probably know.
I know that's not true, though.
But that's the thing, is when you guys were listening to some today, and I was like, that's not sci-fi. What are you talking
Sure
about?
it is.
Like you said, Groundhog's Day. That was brought up. I said, that is not freaking sci-fi.
Yes, it is, too.
No. That's
So
not,
it's
to me, if just off the wall, and I'm just, when you said sci-fi, I would think, like you said, Stargate.
Mhm.
I would even go with The Matrix, like Star Wars. I guess my mind automatically goes to space. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like
There's
that.
many different kinds
And
of
I know,
sci-fi.
and I said, well, okay, I guess I'll give it to him. Maybe it is. Like, even when you guys, I was even thinking, well, this is a stretch when you said Back to the Future. I was like, it's not really sci-fi.
Oh, that's 100% sci-fi.
But I was like, well, I guess maybe I'm looking at the definition wrong.
Yeah, it's anything that is not able to be explained by science or whatever, Right now, it's not capable of happening
Wow.
currently. Like, I don't know, Universal Soldier or freaking...
Yeah.
I mean, Star Trek. That shit's happening. I mean,
Kind of.
we're watching TV on our phones. That's what they did 60 years ago, 50 years ago. And everybody was like, oh, that's impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
I remember me and my wife were on our walk the other day, and we were thinking about how stuff has changed. And I said, I can remember, like, back when I thought I was King Dingling because I had the Motorola Razor flip. Remember them?
Oh, yeah. I had
It was
one.
like the titanium-looking one or whatever. And, you kind of, like, wore it on your front sleeve just to let everybody see you had one.
You just like pretended to talk on it through the mall.
Hello. Pull out your antenna. Hello. Yeah. But I remember being with a buddy, and they're like, man, it's crazy that, we all got these cell phones now, and I said, I bet you one day, I said, you'll be able to, like, video call like we got now. And I said, you'll be able to, and he's like, just looking at me like I was crazy. He's like, what?
Shut up, you.
Yeah, he's like, you mean like a
conspiracy
conference
theorist?
call? I was like, well, yeah. I go, you'll be able to have more, I was like, but no, I'm like, I'll be able to see you at home and you can see me wherever I'm at. No, that's crazy.
And look at us now.
Look at that. Maybe I can see the future.
Yep. I think all science fiction is just a prediction of the eventual future.
Some of it is. So that's all I was saying is, and I thought I wasn't mad. I was just like, well, I was looking at the definition. I guess if you could ask me,
Well,
That's what I would have said.
I know you love like House of the Dragon. What's that?
If you hadn't said that, I would have told.
There's somebody in their tractor screaming,
at us right now. I watched them all. Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. There you go.
Okay, yeah, Game of Thrones. So is that sci-fi?
Well, yeah, that's sci-fi.
See,
you think there were really dragons back then?
No, but see, that's my thing is I guess the sci part throws me off because I think science and but sci-fi I automatically just go to like outer space stuff in my mind. I'm not saying that's right, but
well, good because it's not.
I know. I mean, I guess I listen. I'm like, well, I guess if somebody had asked me, that's what I would have said. Because if you had said Game of Thrones, I'm like, that's not sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's just fictional, you know. I don't know.
Yep.
But tomato.
Okay.
Whatever.
Did you answer the question?
What was the question?
Like, what are some of your favorite sci-fi movies?
See, now I'm going to have...
Now you got to think.
Okay, then, just stealing from your list, yes, I loved the Back to the Future ones. I hated 3. I'll go ahead and say it. I wasn't a fan of it. I watched it. Several times. I like Back to the Future. If we're going with that one, then yes, I liked your Lord of the Rings. Now, and used to that, like, I'm not a Harry Potter fan, anything like that. I remember back in the day when those first came out, a friend of mine, Jonathan Hill, he came and picked me up, and he was like, want to go to the movies with me tonight? Yeah. Okay, we just went. Had no idea what we were going to see. I'm like, what are we going to see? And he's like, this new Lord of the Rings come out. And he knew not to tell me because he knew if he had told me, I wouldn't have went.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm not going to that freaking shit, you know. I left that theater, and when they came out at Christmas, 3 years in a row. I think it was like Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Right.
And I left that, and I couldn't wait for the next one to come out.
I know, man. They're amazing.
I'll be the first one to admit I got hooked on that.
Did you ever watch the extended cuts?
I don't know if I honestly have or not.
You should. They're even better.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much story that they left out. Like, you get to know the characters more. Because the way they are condensed an hour, you get to see the characters a couple minutes. But this one, you get to see more interactions.
I even tried after the fact, and they came out with like the Hobbit's Tale and all that. I couldn't get into that.
Hobbit was just okay.
I really couldn't. I was like, oh.
That one they drug out too far because it should have been like one movie.
Yeah. And
they could have done like a 4-hour movie and told the whole thing. But instead it was 3-hour movies.
Yeah, I couldn't get into those, but
they're not terrible.
So I will make a list and I'll get back to you on it because I'm not prepared for that.
Okay.
And I have to think outside of what my mind would automatically go to as sci-fi.
All right.
Like if you ask me a comedy, yeah, I could tell you comedies, but
there's many sci-fi comedies.
Yes, in that aspect, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But so this week we don't have a rub down.
We don't because we just got off work.
Yep.
We're getting ready to leave
for our big herf.
Yep.
If you're listening to this, it's already happened, and if you didn't come, you missed it.
Yep. And you guys can find us next time we do it. Yes. We're going to try to do it at places that have a nice outdoor area.
Yeah, and we're shooting for once a month, but we're going to try to do the same day as what we had talked about.
Close.
Like the third Thursday, Friday,
either
or whatever.
the second Friday of the month, something like that.
And maybe we'll have to take a poll, like what one works better, like.
Yeah, and where we could do it.
Where we could do it, yeah. If someone wants to host, we could do it like we used to do it at my house.
We can come to your house.
Yeah, we can come to your house and do it. We just did it before, and I felt like it was a lot of work on whoever did it and money. And because you're getting off work on a Friday night at 5 o'clock and then trying to run home and.
Yep, I always felt bad going to your place every week because you were doing it every single week. And a lot of people don't realize that, that costs money.
Yeah.
But I always tried to bring something.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people didn't. But,
But you did.
I did.
You did. You're so sweet. But, yeah, we're going to try to do something. We might have to put out a poll or something like that and see what day's the best.
I know Pin Oak was one of the locations we talked about. It'd be a decent place.
Yeah, we could all smell like urine.
Well, we don't have to go inside.
Yeah.
I haven't been inside Pin Oak in years, man.
It still smells the same.
Does it?
Well, the last time I was at Pin Oak, I was there with you.
Oh, did you go in?
Yeah, we had went in before you got there.
We could do it at a winery.
Yeah, we could do it at
many wineries.
Many wineries, yeah.
I bet they would love that.
Oh, yeah.
At the winery if we talked to them.
I bet all the other customers would love it too.
Well, like a Blue Sky, there's just tables all
everywhere.
over the place.
And we could do that one, like even on
Walker's
a
Bluff.
Saturday or something. Maybe the wives would like going to that one a little better.
Yep, because then they could go off and drink their wine or whatever.
Yeah.
Do this and that.
Mm-hmm. But we're going to try to keep it going, and we'll find something to do through the winter.
Yep.
That's going to be a little
Towards
hard.
the end of the summer, I'll probably do one here and cook some barbecue.
Can you cook barbecue?
I try.
Hmm.
I try.
It's shake and bake, and I helped.
I haven't cooked a whole lot this week.
Man, I will tell you, I'll brag on myself a little bit here. I was kind of just I opened up my big box of, when we moved, I had a huge tote like this one, and just she shoved all the seasonings out of my cabinet in there. And I found it eventually and went through it and was kind of pulling out, and I had some wings and I had pork steaks. And I said, I'm going to try something different. And both of them turned out pretty dang good.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, the wings I did that Jolly Rogers, Loot and Booty Jolly Rogers. I love that stuff.
Yes.
I still think that's probably my favorite rub.
I think
The only
I
bad
have a
thi-
tie for like the top 4 or 5.
The only thing I
one's-
don't like about it is it makes the meat ugly. Is it's black.
Oh, it looks terrible.
It looks terrible.
It looks like you dropped it in the driveway.
It does. It looks terrible.
I don't understand the whole black seasoning
Yeah, I'm like,
thing.
why would you do that? But whatever. I did that and Loot and Booty, and I did Simple Citrus on the wings.
Did you do it together?
Yeah. Well, I put on, I just sprinkled. Went first layer Loot and Booty, and then the second layer was Simple Citrus.
I thought you were going to do 2 different batches.
Nope, I did them together.
How was that?
Oh, awesome.
It
I will
sounds
say,
pretty awesome.
It really was. It
It was
was
jalapeno garlic,
Mhm.
the Jolly Roger, and then the citrus. It probably did pop pretty well.
Mhm. Yeah, it was. That Simple Citrus, I'll be honest, when I first saw it, and I saw a video, I think Keith Rowell was actually using it, and he was doing some salmon or something. And just in my mind, I thought, okay, I'm going to get this and do it with seafood. And that's
Mhm.
all I had it set aside for now. Man, now that we've started using it and we reviewed it on here, that shit's good on almost everything.
Yeah, I bought a bottle a couple weeks ago.
Oh, it's just good. But I did that, and then on the pork steaks, I did another black one. I did that, the Route 51's rub.
Yeah.
I don't know if it necessarily has a name, but it's Route 51 barbecue. I did his rub, and
it's more of just salt and pepper.
yeah, that's more what it was. I did a base one of that, and then I did the sweet and savory Blues Hog on top, and turned out good. And
Nice.
I liked it because that sweet and savory, like crystallized, like got a little crunchy little burn on it. And for me, and it got on. I put it real heavy on the fat.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, that I could have just ate the fat straight off of there because it was like candy. It candied on it. Oh, it was so good. With all the sugar in it, you know.
Tell you what I did do Saturday is I introduced my friend Jason to the barbecue place in West Frankfort. Names are escaping me
Blazing
today.
Trails?
Blazing Trails, that's
Yeah.
the one.
I still haven't tried that.
Dude, I will say that is the best barbecue I've ever had.
Like just
Like a
pulled
restaurant.
pork or just
No,
barbecue in general?
I mean, pulled pork is pulled pork.
yeah.
Anybody can make it. It all depends on what seasonings you use, sauce, all that crap. But as far as just smoked meat,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the dude does it. It's like the best brisket ever. I know he does low and slow, which to me is the only way to cook brisket to maximize the texture and flavor. Is you get the thick smoke ring, and it really renders down and gets a good solid crust on there.
Yeah.
Nice bark, but it's just beautiful. I'm like, it's turkey. I know you don't like turkey. You need to try his turkey. It's better than my turkey. And I don't ever say that, ever.
I've heard his
Right.
brisket's out of this
The
world.
brisket's so freaking good. Even the flat, like the lean part,
Yeah.
is super moist and juicy.
I guess because there's another food truck that I will recommend to anybody. It's called Ashley's Treats and Eats or something.
I haven't seen that
It's
one.
this little silver trailer, and it's a girl and her dad, Ashley and her dad, and they do this, and they make like tacos and quesadillas, and like I wouldn't think they even had tacos because it's literally called Ashley's Eats and Treats or something, I think, like that. And they make tacos out of this freaking world.
Hell yeah.
But you order them, like you say, I want these tacos. They come in 3, but they're big, like soft shell tacos, 3 of them. And they do brisket one. And I was told that they buy their brisket from that guy, and then they use it for these tacos.
I believe.
I don't know that for sure, but that's what I've been told, is that they buy his brisket.
I know a lot of people that'll go buy a brisket from him.
Yeah.
And just freeze it.
Yeah, that's what they must do. But those tacos are, if you get a chance, try that food truck.
I will.
It's awesome.
I've never seen it.
Sweet girl that runs it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we got the brisket, sausage, and turkey. And we both got a side of the smoked mac and cheese.
$47 later.
No. Dude, it was like $30.
Really?
Yeah, it was a half pound of each meat, 2 sides, and it comes with 1 drink, because this is apparently for one fat guy. But, dude, we both ate, and then...
So you just ordered 1 meal or 2 meals?
I ordered 1 meal.
For you guys to share?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I knew it was going to be a lot.
I thought you were saying it was 30 for 2 of these. Okay.
No, $30 for the whole thing.
Okay.
But it was enough for a family of 4. Easy.
Well, a half pound of each one of them.
Yeah, so a pound and a half plus 2 sides. I mean, that's a lot.
You get brisket, barbecue, and...
You get brisket and sausage, then you get to pick your third meat with that deal. It's like the meat sweats or something. But it was not much. It was like $30-something. Yeah. $32, $33.
I honestly just forget about it, and it's like we just don't go to West Frankfort for anything. And
yeah, we just happened to be up that way hitting some yard sales, and I saw it. I'm like, oh, that's where we're eating lunch, because I'm never up this way when they're open.
Yeah,
they're only open Friday and Saturday.
And they're only open till they're sold out.
Yeah, which sometimes is a couple hours.
Yeah, I'll have to try it.
It's pretty damn good.
I'll have to try it. So yeah, we kind of have at least talked about a rub down.
That's right.
But
we need to get back on track and link up with Louis and...
Yeah, I went by there last Friday and I texted Aaron and I'm coming by the store where you at or whatever, and he was on his way back from Canada. His daytime job, he travels a lot.
Yeah.
So he was not there, so I didn't get to hook up with him, but yeah, we'll get back there, and the rub down will be brought to you by Louis Barbecue Supply. So what else? What else we got going on?
Not much, man.
Not much.
No. Just hanging out this week.
That's what I'm doing.
Yep. This weekend's Father's Day. You have any Father's Day plans? Are you going to Florida?
No.
No?
No. Last year we were in Father's. It was.
I know.
We were in Florida on Father's Day.
Yep. We're leaving for the Smoky Mountains in a couple weeks.
Are you? When are you leaving?
The 2nd of July.
Ooh.
I've never been there.
I drove through there.
Really?
I think I went maybe when I was a kid, but are you going like Gatlinburg or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I've never quote unquote been to Gatlinburg and stayed now.
I see.
I never have.
I'm wondering if there's any cigar shops out that way.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
It almost has to be.
Yeah, something.
I'm pretty sure when I was looking at the pictures of the resort, like on the balcony, there was an ashtray on the table.
Oh, there you go.
So I bet it's a big cigar place, because I know there's moonshine everywhere.
Yeah. That's nice, because a lot of, technically, I don't think I've ever stayed anywhere in Florida where you were allowed to smoke. I always go out on the balcony and smoke.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I'm like, if I can walk out here and smell cigarettes and smell weed, I'm lighting up my cigar.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I dare somebody to call. I've never once had anybody say anything, but all of them say no smoking on the balcony.
I know. In Orange Beach, it's like outlawed everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, you're not supposed to smoke outdoors in Orange Beach in any public location, especially the beach.
That's one thing I've said. Mexico was the same way, but Dominican was even better. Is when we went to Punta Cana, I love going there. One of my favorite things is you can light up a cigar in your room, walk out with it, and walk everywhere on the resort.
That's cool.
They're smoking cigars everywhere. You know, there's
It's like everyday culture down that way.
it is. They're just.
I mean, that's their major export.
Yeah,
I would imagine
that
is
and
tobacco.
rum and yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're, you know, I didn't ever smoke in a restaurant. Like most of the restaurants, there's a couple of the dinner ones that were enclosed, but most of your restaurants are open air. So there was people even smoking cigarettes in there. I didn't see anybody smoke a cigar because I think that's a little overpowering sometime eating.
Oh yeah.
But
I would never do that.
I wouldn't smoke in a restaurant. But now, sitting outside of it, sitting on the beach, oh, I loved it.
Yeah, what the hell is the big deal about smoking a cigar on the beach? Like, I don't know why people get up in arms about that. You're at the beach.
Yeah, you're at the beach.
And there's always a breeze.
Well, my thing is people get up in arms about people smoking cigarettes and stuff. I'm like, you're outside. It's blowing away.
Cigarettes I can kind of see because a cigarette filter doesn't deteriorate. It just litters.
Yeah, if you leave it, yeah.
This is all tobacco.
Yes.
I mean, aside from the ban, as long as you take the ban, who cares?
Yeah, but I mean, I know what you're saying. I will say, every time we go, I try to smoke at least one. 9 times out of 10, it's a factory smoke because it's so windy on a beach. I'm not buying an expensive cigar, but it's the enjoyment of it. Sitting there watching sunset or sunrise. Oh, just having that cigar. I do it, but I do it with these because you could have an 80 gauge that would burn in about 20 minutes.
Those are
with the
what I
wind.
bought when we went to Orange Beach last time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was still a struggle to enjoy it.
Yeah, there's sometimes that literally I have to like turn my head. I'm like, I'm not even sure if it's lit. Because like you ever smoked one like that where there's so much wind?
Yeah.
That I'm like, are you in hit? And you blow out, and I'm like, I don't even think it's lit. Then you turn your head away, and you're like, okay, there's smoke coming off of it. It's lit.
Yep.
But it's just robbing so much of it. But it's still just what's the nostalgia of it? Just
the experience.
it's the sci-fi of it.
Yeah, there you go. It's the
I'm
sci-fi.
going to start using sci-fi for all things in life.
You should. Speaking of that, how is your cigar?
It's pretty good. Burning good.
Yeah?
Mr. Nick Miller, who badmouths these all the time. No, he only did it once.
I think he just had a couple that weren't good.
And I told him we've talked about them before, and I buy them in the bundle, and I think there's 20 in the bundle. And you're not going to have 20 the exact same cigar.
No.
I'll give you that. Because these are the sweets that I buy, and there'll be about 5 out of that bundle that I put in like, ooh, it's like real sweet. And for me, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't imagine they put a lot of time in those.
Now, say
they're a couple dollars.
Yeah, there's no consistency, but for the most part, for $2.25,
to
$2.
Me, since he drives all the time, that would be a perfect driving cigar.
Mm-hmm.
Delivering newspapers and whatnot.
Oh yeah, that's what I would do. But he's a high roller. He gets those fancy ones.
Yeah, he's definitely rich.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely
rich.
I heard he was sending everybody on a tour to
he said
all the cigar factories down there. If you go to the what do you call it? The
Pulpit Fest.
Pulpit Fest.
Yeah, he said you have to bring a passport and an extra change of clothes that he's got a cruise ship waiting.
Yeah, it's there at the dock.
It's there at the dock.
You just have to make your way to the
all
ship.
expenses paid. All you have to do is show up with a passport.
Man, he's such a nice guy.
He is a nice guy. His sponsors are really doing good.
Yeah, they are. Man, this thing, I got to find some of these because this cigar is awesome.
Even though you don't have any idea what it is. I bet you if you Google it.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Google will know.
A lot of these I just smoke and forget about, but this one, I'm going to try to hunt some down because this is Perfect Dave cigar.
Perfect Dave cigar. So it's strong and...
No, it's not like super strong. It's probably a heavy medium.
Mm-hmm. So it's strong.
I mean...
A heavy medium strong.
I mean, it's stronger than what you're smoking, but like compared to a lot of stuff that I smoke, this is not strong. And it's very flavorful and smoking like a champ. Like a razor-tight burn line, man. It's still, I haven't had to touch it up at all. Haven't had to relight it, and I've been talking. Like it
does have a good burn line.
That's a big problem when it's humid out like this. Like they'll just go out.
Sometimes, yeah.
This has not done that even remotely.
Not even close.
Not even close, buddy. We watched a sci-fi movie last night with Jennifer Lopez on Netflix. Have you seen that on there?
What's it called?
Hang on and I'll tell you.
Oh,
What?
Oh, I have my would you rather.
Oh,
ready.
okay.
I just remembered it.
Back it up, flip
You
it,
hit the
rub
wrong
it
button.
down. Oh,
I
no.
saw you going down for that. It's the one in the middle.
Yep.
This week's would you rather actually comes from my youngest one, Cole. We were driving the other day, and he, I think he cheated, because like in the car sometimes he'll bring up like trivia questions and ask off of Google or something. But he found some that were would you rather, because I said I need some good would you rather. So he Googled it and he was going through some. This one is, and it kind of made me think, because I'm like, I don't know. But he asked it. Would
Okay.
you rather? Would you rather never know what day it is, or what time it is?
Oh, that's a pretty good one, man.
I was like, well, at first it was one of those that I thought, well, that's simple. Then I'm like, well, no, maybe it's not. I'm like,
No, it's not that simple.
yeah. Would you would rather never know what day it is, or never know what time it is?
The movie is called Atlas, by the way.
I think I've seen that
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Yeah. It was a strong okay. It's definitely worth watching.
I think I watched it.
Don't expect a lot. It's a little cheesy.
I think
But anyway, back to the would you rather. I think I would rather not know what day it is. Man, this is more complicated than I think you thought. Because if you don't know what day it is, you don't know when you wake up on Saturday if you have to be at work or not.
I mean, I guess if you were, I guess if I thought, well, if I'm retired, it's okay. Like you always joke and say, when you're retired, every day's Saturday. But if you were working, then you would just, I mean, you would go on a cycle. You know, right now I work Monday through Friday. So I'm going to get up and go to work 5 days in a row. You'd have to really keep track in your head.
What if you went to work and it's Sunday and you got like no phone calls all day?
You just sat there. Office is kind of dead today.
Like, Dave, what are you doing? You're going to have to work an extra day and you don't get paid for
And
that.
so
one.
I guess that's what I'm like, well, how deep does it go? Like, do I automatically I can't keep track? You know? Like I've been saying, could I not count, okay, I've been to work 5 days in a row?
I
don't know how deep it goes of your not knowing.
Right, but if on the flip side of that, if you're at work,
Yeah, when can I
and
go home?
You don't know when 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock's rolling
Especially
around.
this time of year.
Yeah, who
It's
knows?
not like normally you could be like, okay, it's getting dark. It's probably about, if it's wintertime, you could be like, it's almost 5. I'm going to go home,
Right.
But if not, so what would you be? You ain't give your answer.
Man, that's really hard. If I'm still working,
Yeah, see, that's just right now. Tomorrow, boom, we don't know.
I would probably rather not know what day it is. Just take my chances. Because I definitely want to know what time it is to go home.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And just try to keep track of, I've been here
And I'll
5
just put like a
5 times. And
I'll put a notch in the tree.
yeah. I wonder if it's like 51st dates. Like if you woke up the next day and say, did I go to work yesterday?
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. So that's why I was like, well, how deep do you want to make this? And that would make it harder. But I think I'm with you. I think I would want to know what time it is. The more I thought about it, I'm like, at least, because I don't like being late for things.
I hate being late.
And I always
I'm not
have-
late for anything.
I'm not going to say I never have been, but I'm like you. I try not to be. Like this is an argument me and my wife always gets into. If Dave, if I invite you over and say, come over, you and Angie come over, we're going to have dinner tonight. Dinner will be at 6, okay? What time would you get at my house?
About 5:40.
Bingo. Rebecca says, no, they said it's at 6. You should get there at 6. They're not
You get
expecting
there
you.
a couple minutes
I
early
said, no,
to ask them if they need help, even though the answer's
always
always
no.
no.
Yeah.
You just show up, and then that way, if they by
Yeah.
chance do need help
You
setting
can-
the plates or taking food outside,
Yeah.
you're there to help.
And my thing is, I'm always like, if I tell you, Dave, come to my house, we're going to eat dinner at 6. I pre-plan, and now sometimes things don't go according to plan, but you say, I want to have dinner on the table at 6 o'clock for my guests to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, if you're there at 6, and then you say you're high and blah, blah, and walking in, well, your dinner's sitting there getting cold.
Exactly.
I'm like, no, I'm going to get there at about 15, 20 till, talk to you. Oh, no, they said 6. They're not. I hate when people show up early, but I'm like, So anything like if I ever invite you to dinner and I say it's at 6, I've told Rebecca 5:30. Because that way when you show up on time,
Awesome.
well, she's like, oh, even she's looking, well, Dave's a little late. It's 5:40,
So we have a mutual friend that has been late for everything as long as I can remember. Like, we even call it tea time. You know, he'll be here at tea time.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be a couple hours or not at all.
I think I know what friend you're talking about.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do the same thing.
Tell him early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I had several people back in the day. My good friend, and I'll say he knows it, Jordan Jansko. I played paintball with him, and if I was gonna pick him up at 6 a.m. to head to the field, I said I'm gonna be at your house at 5. I always had to tell him an hour before.
Yep.
Always, you always have to, and he still wouldn't be ready. But I could get there at 5:30, and he'd be like, hang on, and he'd be running. And I'm like, okay.
Yep. My brother's the same way. Like, he'll just show up when he shows up. So we, like, it was years and years and years I'd ask him to go do stuff, this and that. Well, I just stopped because, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like,
I understand.
We asked him to go on vacation, a month in advance. I don't know. I'll tell you closer to the time. I'm like, well, then I'm
then
not
you're not
going to
going.
remind you.
Yeah, you're not going.
Yeah. And when we go to Dad's, which is 2 hours away, be like, I'm leaving at 10. And if you're not here at 10,
I'm leaving you.
You're not going. Or you're driving separate. So now he just drives separate.
When he shows up.
Yep.
Yeah, I understand. And I never understand. I get so aggravated with...
Which with him I kind of get because he's single.
Yeah.
Lives alone. He probably doesn't pay attention to time. I don't know if I would like that if I was single.
I just always have. I like being on time for things.
I haven't been late for work since 2004, and that's because I got stopped by a train that was not moving in Carbondale. So on my way to Murfreesboro, got stopped by the train. I was there like 20 minutes.
If I've ever been late for work, it's probably been by a minute or two.
Yeah. I work at 8. I get there no later than 7:40.
I mean, there's a couple mornings where something has went wrong or something, blah, blah, and it's put me 4 or 5 minutes later for leaving for work, So I'm saying I've been a minute or two late, but I've never been late.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't do that.
No.
If I'm going somewhere and I'm in control, and there's some people like, God love her, my sister is one of the worst. Like every year we have Thanksgiving, Christmas, blah blah, at my mom's. Every year it's the same thing, and every year, at least 20 to 30 minutes after it's time to eat, she's coming in all disheveled, bringing this stuff, sitting it down. Well, I'm like, you make the same thing every time. Right. You know how long it takes. It's not like you tried a new recipe. You make the same thing every year.
Mm-hmm.
You know how long it takes.
She was maximizing her pajama time.
I get, and that's what it is. I'm like, and to me, that's just super rude. It's super rude.
I'm almost done with this cigar, and I'm touching it up for the first time. This is very impressive.
I need to touch mine up. Which I touched it up once before.
I'm sad that I don't have more of these. Excellent.
I don't have one. I would give
you. Might.
I might. I don't know.
Yep. I don't know.
But
I know you have some of those in your bag. Factory smokes.
Yeah. Well, we got anything else good? We don't have Scott to ask a question.
No, we don't.
You got a question?
I could probably come up with one if you tell a little story or something.
Tell a little story or something. Tell a little story. Actually, the other day I thought I've been trying to remember this whole episode. I felt like I did have a story or something that I wanted to ask, and I don't remember what it was.
Okay, you don't have to think about it. I got a question.
Oh, well, that was quick.
What was your favorite toy when you were growing up?
My favorite toy when I was growing up?
Your favorite thing to play with. It didn't have to be a toy. It could be a stick.
Knives.
Like real knives?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I've told you before
that makes total sense.
It was like knives are the only toy I ever remember. I mean, as God is my witness, I ever remember spending money on was toy guns. I loved toy guns. I had hundreds of them.
That's the phase Oliver's in. He probably has 25 Nerf guns right now.
Yeah, and see, like I said before, mine wasn't. I wanted the ones that looked real.
He's got those too.
And back then, there was a lot more than there are now.
Oh yeah, now they're all neon green.
They're all neon
and
green, which is safer, I guess, for the kids in the world we live in. You know.
Yeah, they won't get shot.
Yeah, I had several when I was a kid, and I remember buying them in like Walmart and KB's Toys.
Oh yeah,
that were like metal.
yeah.
Like I mean, like I could have walked in and robbed a bank with them.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yep, I had some.
But I never was. I don't know. All my friends were always older than me. I've always been older things. I never liked cartoons. Never watched any cartoons. As a kid, I was watching Goonies or Rambo.
I figured yours would have been like a remote control car or something.
Actually, that was later in life.
Okay.
Yeah, my parents didn't buy me things. Like, if we had a remote, I'll be honest, like the only toys we did have was like, and I wish to God you could have went in what my mom and dad called their old toy
I
room.
know, this story makes me sick every time you tell it.
I mean, they had, because my brothers both were huge in Star Wars, so they had everything Star Wars. And either like my parents spent all the money on them, and like by the time I came around, they're like, well, sorry, we're out of money. We bought Michael all the Star Wars ships and things out there. I mean, they had some big thing that like, you know, like the He-Man thing that opened up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that big thing of Star Wars and the ships and all that, tons of them on the shelves, and I remember like playing them. I'm like, this is boring.
That's a lot of money. Buddy.
Oh, and it all burnt in the fire.
That sucks. Like I watched my friend buy one single figure that was like $1,400.
Oh, I'm not kidding you when I tell you we had totes like this just piled full of them.
That's awesome.
And they would go to yard sales and buy more when the other people were selling them because they loved playing. And I never liked that kind of stuff.
I gotcha.
I liked knives and toy guns.
I think mine was G.I. Joe's, kind of along the same lines. Like they all came with guns.
Mm-hmm.
They all had like tanks and trucks and all. I loved playing with G.I. Joe's. And one day, like I went inside and my brother buried them all, and we couldn't find them. He wouldn't say where because he probably forgot. And then, like after a while looking, I looked out my window and a kid, I guess, had watched him.
And
do it
went
and took them all.
Ah, that little bastard.
Little shit. And then of course he denied it. And
I don't know what you're talking about. These are my toys.
these are my G.I. Joes.
Oh, that
And then
sucks.
after that, it went right into Ninja Turtles,
Yeah,
and I still love both. He-Man's a close third.
I don't remember ever buying any. If it was a toy and I saved my money for it, it was a toy gun I wanted.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
There
that
it
was
is.
my question.
There's your answer.
Okay.
I'm kind of a boring kid, I guess.
No, you were playing with guns outside, having wars.
I was. You
And
know, but I would always
real
make
knives.
I'd always make fun. I'm like, well, them guys sitting there playing with their dolls and stuff. You know, like G.I. Joes. I would, what do you do? Just hi, Joe, blah blah blah, and play with them. You know, I'm like, oh, that's so stupid. But now I would paint my face in camouflage and wear all camouflage and go out and lay in the swamp next to our house and be like,
They're all like, look at this
Charlie's
psychopath.
all around me. Look at him. I'll be rolling around doing stuff. Now that was totally normal.
What do they think at the campground since when you're doing that
Oh,
now?
they're used to it
They're
now.
used to it?
Yeah, I throw knives. Yeah, yeah. Yep.
You know, I could totally see that happening.
Oh, I had a whole set of throwing knives. I never got any good with them, but I tried. I had a whole set of them.
Later on, I had some swords and whatnot, but
Yeah, I had swords. I had the ninja stars. I got pretty good with a ninja star, but the throwing knives, probably because I didn't buy that great of a set. They were probably like letter openers.
probably.
Because I remember they weren't sharp.
Yep.
But I'm like, it should be sharp to stick.
You would think so.
But I don't know.
All right, man. It's about time to get going.
Mm-hmm. Let's head over there.
All right. The cigar's gone.
This one's almost
Time
gone.
to go. Light
Time
up
to go.
another one.
Till next week, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Kind of nice that Scott wasn't here.
Yeah, he's such an asshole.
He's always mean to me.
He is. He's very mean to you.
He's very mean to me. His brother's very nice.
Is he?
Yes, the brother's Kevin is super nice.
I wonder
Scott's-
what happened in that upbringing.
I don't know. Scott's an asshole.
Uh,
Oh,
okay.
well, fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer. Bye-bye.